Sometimes when you're lying awake in the mind, it's just endless the things that you can sit there and think about with the free flowing thoughts. And then sometimes to try and harness that and put it into a format of either a video or writing it down, sometimes that's, I guess, the more difficult part. If you ever sit there just kind of daydreaming, thinking worldly thoughts or whatever, not even necessarily meditation, just daydreaming, where you're just thinking about whatever, and then you're like, wow, I wish I could write all that stuff down, or I wish I could capture all that into a vlog. But it's just endless possibilities of thinking that we do, and people don't talk about it or like to talk about it, which is kind of funny because everybody does it. Everybody has free flowing thoughts. At one point in time, everybody's daydreamed, or will daydream, or used to daydream. Or, some people just dream in the night, but others daydream all day. And a lot of it comes back to either where you live, could be in the food or the water. I mean, you never know what all affects people that way. So, but I've noticed from different things, people that live in different places act differently, especially certain neighborhoods, or you just get used to, accustomed for different things. Like, if you're in a quiet neighborhood and you hear a noise outside, you're probably going to wonder what the heck it is. But if you're in a city where you hear noises all the time and loud bangs and crashes, and you're probably going to have a tendency to ignore it. So that's a little bit spin off of how different people act differently when they're raised in different environments, or when they've moved into different environments that they're used to. It's almost like that with conversations of the mind. You can sit there and have free flowing thoughts and think about a bazillion things and never think about it. And if somebody talks about it, some people think that's weird. It's like, whatever. But everybody daydreams at some point in time. It's your higher mind thinking, or whatever you want to call it. Um, I notice sometimes, I don't know, I think people are more likely to daydream after they've ate a big meal. Maybe not necessarily the sugars, but the additives in the sugars potentially. Where, I mean, it hypes you up, and then you have to sit there and be quiet if you're in a place where you can't just rattle off or go run around and play. And I've noticed that from years ago, even, where people would just, you know, be caught in a daydream thinking about 100 million other things. And sometimes if you're in a crowd, it's almost like a crowd feeling, um, or a worldly thinking thought, or you're just like off in your own la la land, little world where somebody's trying to talk and you're trying to learn something. Where it helps if you're actually physically writing it down in a notebook, because then your mind will help pay more attention to what you're listening to if you're actually writing it down. But if not, then you're just a little caught in a little flow of the ebb of the conversation, where you're kind of mesmerized by their voice and hypnotic, or hypnotically you might be picking up what they're saying or not, and you might not even remember it, but it's kind of a calming rhythm effect. And if you're really supposed to be paying attention to it because you need to learn it, that's probably a little bit more difficult of a factor. So years ago I learned, if you really want to hear what they're saying and get a little bit more focus, if you can't focus with that, then you really probably should check to find out what you're eating or what can help calm you and give you a little bit more focus. But usually, if you're trying to listen intently and you're writing it down, at least making notes, even if it's little scribbles or jogs, but usually if you're writing down what they're saying, either word for word, or the best you can, or even a shorthand version, it seems to really help focus and pay attention to what they're saying. So maybe you can pick it up, and then if you need to, somebody told me this a long time ago, is either reread those notes 10 times, or if you're trying to understand a book and you don't understand it, even if you read it 3 to 5 times, you're going to understand it better. But if you read it 10 times, or 50 times, or 100 times, you're really going to understand it better. It's like some of the good movies out there. You watch them once or twice and you think you saw it, and then you go back and you watch it like 3 or 4 or 5, 10 times. And after a while, you just learn so much more. A book's the same way. If you read it, don't understand it, you can ask people questions. There might be YouTube videos on it. I don't know. But for sure, if you read it 10 times, your perspective is going to be way different than if you only read it once. especially if there's something you're not understanding or want to relate to better. So this is my quick vlog video on imagination, free flowing thoughts, paying attention, writing stuff down. That's the highlights of it. Hope it helps. Hope it gives you a little bit more creative thoughts or helps you learn to harness your creative thinking. How you capture those thoughts when it's free flowing. Sometimes you just got to sit there, relax, have the pen and paper ready, and be able to jog it down as you go. We're not going to get into all the other conversations and stuff that's going through my mind right now. But for the most part, I mean, what I was going to say is someday there'll be computers that's already, they say that there's people that can already do that. The computers that register your brain waves, or they can tap in like a computer chip. You know, that's so futuristic. If it is being done, it's beyond our level, unless you're into the science or scientific part of it. I'm not even going to mention all the other stuff that could go along with that. So that's the highlights of it. I guess hopefully if those little systems out there are listening, they're not stealing our ideas. So, that would never happen. So let's just go with it and do the best we can, and maybe daydream when we need to, and pay attention when we need to, and learn to write down the things that we're trying to learn, and learn to write down ideas from the mind for ourselves and for others to make life better, and in impossible ways to be possible. Alright, have a great day. Be good. This is vlog of the day. And it's around the end of February, so I'm just going to vlog it. I think it's, February 23rd is actually the date today, so I'm just going to call it vlog February 23rd because I don't remember which vlog I'm up to. It's over a dozen now, so I'm not trying to keep track of that, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it by the day or the date. So we're officially still in 2019, way early in the year, and the winter's odd this year. It's good to bad, better than worse, and hopefully we don't get any of those big snows that sometimes happen this time of year. They predicted early spring according to the groundhog. So how much you believe a little fuzzy little rodent groundhog? Let's hope he's right. I'm rooting for you, groundhog. We like you. All right, take care.